Hello, everyone. Guess what? It's time for Merle's Pearls. I am Merle M. Singer, the Relationship Miracle Worker. And every week at this time, I was going to say at noontime, but well, it depends on where you are. If you're back east, what is it? It's 3 o'clock already. So whatever time it is for you, this is the time that I do Merle's Pearls every week. And I am, as a relationship miracle worker, I do know things about relationship. I've been married over 50 years to the same person, happily. Well, there was that time when you're 19 or 20, but we'll talk about that another time. But here we are today, past 50 years married, and still happy, and still talking to each other. Amazing. So I figure if I don't know anything about rocket science, I do know about relationship, and I like to share it with you. I can't tell you everything about relationship that I know today, but I can talk about one topic. And that topic is, how does your prospective mate treat his pet? Well, he may not have a pet, but he may. And I think really what's important to note is when he's absolutely, or she, by the way, when he or she is absolutely frustrated and absolutely, you know how you get when you're just like so tense, and anytime anybody says hello to you, you want to scream, what do you mean? When you're in that kind of a mood, pay attention to how your prospective partner treats his or her pet, because that's really important. We all get upset. We all get to our last string, but if we take it out on the pet, oh my goodness, we're not going to be safe either, and it's just not a good way to behave. You need to have control over your aggravation. And then if you're really aggravated, what I used to do, I'm not driving enough these days, I'm not going far enough, but when I was commuting to work, that would be my chance to have the windows closed and go really scream. That was, and I didn't have to worry about having an apartment too close to somebody or a house next door to somebody. Nobody could hear. Well, if I was on the highway at a stop sign, you don't want to do that. So I think it's important to know. And you're going to say to me, well, what if you don't have a pet? Actually, I didn't grow up with any pets at all. And my brother was allergic, and my father had a pet growing up that was very attached to his mother. And when his mother died, the dog pined away and died. And that said, I don't want any more pets. So the first thing I did when Nathan and I talked about getting married, I said, well, there are a certain few things that I'd like to discuss with you. I want a dog, I want a fireplace, and I want a piano. I don't care if it's an old beat up piano. I mean, a fireplace is a fireplace. And I also said, if the kids come to live with us, I want to go to Europe first. Because, once kids come to live with you, you never quite have enough money to take everybody. And so you're less inclined to do those big trips. You take trips in the car and things like that. At least that had to do with the amount of money we figured we'd have in that amount of time. So everybody doesn't have a pet to start with, but actually his willingness to me to accommodate me was an indication of how he felt about pets and how he felt about me. So in a sense, I was getting information that way. I think now some people are dog people, and some people are cat people, and some people are fish people. I set up a whole aquarium for my mother, and so I've done fish, and I've had cats and dogs actually. It, I don't, I don't know how did the first thing we got was Fido. That was our dog that Nathan bought for me, well, for when we got married. Fido, Phydeaux. He was a French dog, and I asked for a little dog, and Nathan brought home this totally adorable, kind of a mix between a shepherd and a beagle. I called him a German beagle, and it was the perfect size. Only problem was he was a puppy, so he didn't stay that size. He got bigger and bigger, but we still love Fido. And so I think that, and there is no way, by the way, you don't have to be a dog person or a cat person or a fish person or a gerbil. You don't have to be anything. But I think it is important that we treat with respect whatever the animals that we have in our life. And if we don't have any animals in our life, treat other people's animals with respect. I think that's important, and that's an important thing to see in a partner, is how you treat. Well, that's what happens. So first we talk about how do you treat your pet, and we move on to how do you treat all the people in your life. I do a whole chapter of that in my book, Cracking the Relationship Code, because I think if you're married, you already know this is true, for good or for bad. But if you're dating or want to be dating, by the way, if you are, there is a course that you can take, and it's being put on by Patty Negri, the fabulous psychic medium, and myself, the fabulous relationship miracle worker, and it's called The Magic and Science of Love, 3 Secrets to Finding the Perfect Partner for You. Notice how I say perfect partner. I didn't say perfect person, because none of us are perfect. But somehow it happens that there is somebody out there that will mesh their imperfection with your imperfection perfectly. And that is magical, really, how that happens with billions of people in the world. And never mind statistics, you find one person, that needle in the haystack. And if you want to, you will, and you can. And check out relationshipmiracleworker.com. I think it's /workshop. Find out about the workshop. And it starts the second Monday of November. So it's just like about 2 weeks away. And sign up, because it's just 3 sessions, 3 different Mondays. And you really will get a sense of what little tweaks that you can make to how you're thinking about things now, and a few little hints to how to find the perfect partner for you. I didn't mean this to come out as a commercial. It just kind of came out because of the topic we're talking about, because that's one of the things we'll cover, is how does he or she treat the people around him. I coming from a woman's point of view, I paid very close attention on my first dates with Nathan, how he treated the waiter or the waitress, how he was respectful of waitresses. I paid attention to if I saw him when he was in a retail pharmacy. I saw how he treated women customers, men customers, saw how he treated other people. And I saw how the respect that he got from other people. These are clues to pay attention to when you're shopping around for a partner for your life. That's it for today. 10 minutes. That's all any of us can take at one time. So tune in next week. Of course I told you about the Magic and Science of Love. Definitely sign up if it's appropriate for you. But whoever is watching, let me know any topics that you want, any comments that you have. The more you can talk to me, I can talk back to you. So start out there, just comments at the bottom. That's easy for you to do, and I'm so interested in what you have to say. By the way, you can go on YouTube and find some old broadcasts of Merle's Pearls in case you're interested. But do let me know what you think about it, what you agree with, what you disagree with, what cheer. I'd love to hear from you and answer you. That's it. See you next week. Don't forget, next week at 11 o'clock, at Pacific time that is, will be Thursday Thoughts with Merle and Patty. And then an hour later, we'll come and listen to Merle's Pearls. So have a wonderful week. May all your happiness just come all together for this whole week. And I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.